Hello there. I hope everyone is doing well. It's been an interesting week. We had some good news. We had some bad news. And we also had a little bit of what the news. So, but before we get to all that, find yourself something to sip on. Grab yourself something to smoke on. Sit back, relax, and I'll tell you why you should do that. Because this is the Saturday Night Show. Hello there. Welcome to the Saturday Night Show. Hope everyone had a good week, or at least a good day. Welcome, Stupid Stuff with Unprofessionals. It is good to see you. Cool. Alan, it is good to see you also. And it'll be good to see anyone who proceeds to show up. Hey, there's Brooke. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Oh, that's cool, Brooke. You do you, my guy. What just happened? Why did my camera freeze? Oh, Mission Impossible? Was it like extraordinary? Hey, David. Alright, you guys are gonna have to... Oh, there we go. Stop it. I don't know why my camera froze. But it fucking did. Let's do that. Do that. Are we working again? Yay! How's that, everybody? Cool. Weird, wild stuff. And there, that's better too. All kinds of fun stuff this week. The Actors Guild is now striking. Bob Iger is saying stupid shit about it. Secret Invasion is trying to make me not like it much. Saber Smith, yo. But on the bright side, those Deadpool set picks are the shit. Yeah. Well, before we go hang for a minute before we get into all that stuff, let me know what's going on in your lives, guys. Peoples. Chat. I am freshly trimmed as of today. As you can see, I'm missing a lot of the scruff you generally see me with a lot of the time. The whole neck beard is gone and everything. I notice when I snap my wife, if my hair literally looks like it's standing up, it's time to get the clippers out. Also, my neck is really damaging. And yes, I'm stealing Josh's music today. Because I don't care. Anything new and interesting going on with you guys? Let me know, chat, after you're done greeting everybody, or each other. Happy to see an E-Wing in the Ahsoka trailer, straight out of Legends. Cool. Oh yeah, that Ahsoka trailer as well. Thank you for bringing that up. I don't know how the hell that jumped out of my brain. I mean, I do have a bit of a memory problem for 3 or 4 different reasons. But there are some things that generally tend to stick, and badass Star Wars is one of them. I'm watching Firefly all day on Comet TV. Is that a pay-for streaming thing, or is that kind of another Tubi, Pluto, Freevee kind of deal? Speaking of which, I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but Freevee is going to have like 3 or 4 different Stargate channels. So that'll be sick. Got Diablo 4. Oh yeah, you've been talking about getting that for a while. Did you get your friend one too? Pretty fun, huh? Oh, that's good. I mean, you guys know I'm not that much into the gaming scene, but even the little bit I heard said Diablo 4 was, pretty freaking good. So, played with them for an hour yesterday. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I know my the photographed area, I know it looks a little bit different. It's because I'm on the Streamlabs this evening as opposed to the StreamYard. So, plus side, I can share my screen on here so we can look at cool Deadpool pictures or whatever else. Um, Minus side, I can't bring anyone on because you got to pay Streamlabs for that shit. So, Sabersmith finished Hogwarts last night. Not as good as Survivor, however, it was cool to see some things from the movies. Yeah. I've watched Justified MF. I've watched him play Hogwarts quite a bit. It seemed like a fun game. Seemed quite tedious in moments, but, you know, if you just... I felt like if you didn't bother with side quests and just, like, rode hard on its story, you know, at least the first time through when you play it, I think that would have been pretty dope. I mean, if I bother to play a game like that, that's how I do it. I just cruise right through the story, and then if I feel like it, I'll go back and do side missions. But I don't do that much anyway. Well, it sounds like you all been having fun this week. I finally got Alan his thing mailed. I even sent him photographic proof. So he will finally be getting the prize he won, like, you know, weeks ago when I did the 100th subscriber thing. It's on satellite, similar to Heroes and Icon and MeTV. Okay. Yeah, I don't do satellite, so. But I have other places I can watch Firefly, so. Oh, yeah. Firefly. Nathan Fillion. Nathan Fillion cast in the new Superman movie as a lantern I've never heard of, but from everyone I've seen online says he's a bit of an asshole. I mean, Hal Jordan was just like a cocky fuck. He wasn't like a straight up asshole. From what I understand, the dude that Fillion's going to be playing is a straight up asshole. So. Are you serious with that, Saber? Holy shit. Funny story, he says. My sister drives around with her stormtrooper helmet on sometimes, and apparently she got pulled over the other day. No ticket. Thank God. Wow. I mean, you know, I can't blame her. I'd probably do that if I had a dope helmet. You know, when my wife wasn't in the car. Get her Bo-Katan's Mandalorian helmet to wear with me. Yeah. Ooh. Maybe some Togruta and Leku and some paired lightsabers. She's not that far from me, and she's cringing like fuck right now. And there we go. That's wild, though. The only thing I can think of is he thought maybe her field of vision was too impaired with the helmet on. There are technically laws against that shit in most places. Also, they don't like your face obscured in case they need to get it on camera or something. That is magnificent, Sabersmith. Sabersmith has a General Grievous cape and chest plate for Chunk. That's his pity. Pitbull pup. He loves it. Makes him feel like the big man on campus. I can totally see a pit bull, or even a dog that's part pit bull, but enough pit bull in it to make it look like a pit bull, just wandering around with the cape and that chest plate. That's fucking magnificent, dude. That is absolutely magnificent. Is it about a half hour till bath time for him? Something like that? How is my picture? Is it a little slow? Let me know. Is the movement choppy? Feels a little off. He's upstairs playing with Grandpa, but bath time is soon. Choco Poppy. Oh, that's why. You'll have to pardon my Saber notification. I have Do Not Disturb on, but some people can still get through it, so just happen. It's got to be family. Oh, okay, yeah. There was a deer in someone's front yard. My in-laws' front yard, I think. That's a pretty cute deer. All right, well, let us get down to business. I'm getting nervous about Iger. He didn't say the best things in that interview on CNBC the other day. Well, thank you for that. That pretty much made it real easy to decide where to start. Well, we'll start with just the fact that the actors are now currently on strike. And, well, that pretty much just shuts Hollywood down. I mean, even if the writers had gotten a deal, they'd be writing for nobody and the directors would have nobody to direct. How wild is that the Directors Guild is the only one that took a deal so far? I mean, were they not in communication with the other two? I mean, everyone already knew the writers were on strike. They were already on strike by the time it was your turn. But when I say your turn, I do mean the Directors Guild. And then it's also not like the directors and the actors weren't in communication on some level. So I just wonder how they got such an awesome deal and neither the writers nor the actors are even remotely happy about the offers they got. Which were redonk. Especially that one. Where they would bring in an actor, scan their face. I mean, I imagine that would take, that wouldn't take that long. You stand there and you circle you with some kind of special camera or some shit. They scan your face and your head. and they give you $400 for the day, which is probably a damn easy $400 to earn. But here's the catch. The studio would then own that likeness in perpetuity, and they could use it as much as they wanted and not pay you a motherfucking dime. Just the fact that they even put that on the table shows they're not really, at least it shows me, that the studios are not really interested in good faith negotiation at this time. Not with the actors, not with the writers. Evidently the directors are cool. I mean, even excluding... Hey, at least my notification's a lightsaber sound, damn it. Yeah, even excluding like the whole solidarity angle. It's still pretty damn weird to me that the directors are the only ones that accepted the offer from the studios. Which then begs the question, why did the studios give the directors such a sweet deal? And the flip side of that is, what made the directors cave? You know, because either they got like a sweetheart of a deal, exactly what they wanted, or they bitched out. Those are the only two explanations. Still have faith in him, though. Still better than Chapek, which we hated it. Yes. Yeah. I mean, in the whole situation, Iger's hands aren't clean. Like, he's the one that wanted a streaming service. Disney Plus is his fucking baby. And like most infants, it's been shitting all over everything for the first couple years of its existence. So I mean, why do you think he did a 2-year extension? It's not because he, like, you know, can't live without being the CEO of Disney. It's because he knows his baby Disney Plus is responsible for a lot of the shit Disney finds itself in today. So he can't dip out at the end of next year because things will still be very much in flux at the end of next year, especially now that the actors have gone on strike. So he's pretty much in, you know, fuck me mode, because now his legacy's on the line. And he obviously, when he came back, he obviously underestimated the full impact that Disney Plus has had on that company. Now he knows, and now he extended himself for 2 years so he could save the legacy of the name Iger. Now that kind of thing could lead him to do both awesome shit and fucked up shit. When your legacy's on the line, you know, things get that intense, you're either gonna, like, you know, you're either gonna step up or break. He's obviously in the mindset, at least, of stepping up, because he's like, well, only wanted to be here 2 years, but some of them a bitch, this is really messed up. I'm gonna need more time. I'm gonna take 2 more years, guys. David, quick question. Where's all this money going to come from when everyone is losing money and laying off staff and having to cancel programs, yet SAG and the writers want more money? Just wondering. Okay. I mean that's the age-old question, and it almost always seems to happen that strikes or contracts run out when the economy is kind of in flux anyway. So, like, depending on your perspective, you'll either think the guilds or any union for that matter look greedy, or some people will think the corporations always look cheap. Um, yeah, exactly, Brooke. He's definitely feeling the heat in his seat. Be honest, he didn't look happy in that interview. I'm sure he's embarrassed. Iger, from what I've known about him, is a really good leader. He's pissed, and you could hear that in his words. Yeah, I'm sure he is pissed. I mean, there are some strategic mistakes um, that Chapek himself did once he was going. The whole simultaneous release of Black Widow, which resulted in that humongous lawsuit from Scarlett Johansson and made them look stupid. Um, not negotiating, dealing with the Florida legislature very well, so now they're all up in that ass. As was mentioned before, he's never been a big fan of animation, which is odd if you're going to be the CEO of Disney, because Disney was built on fucking animation. So, well, Iger got the ball rolling downhill for sure. Chapek kicked it really damn hard and sped it the fuck up. I'm frozen. Oh, motherfucker. It's got to be my camera, because it says my signal's fine. What the hell are you doing, camera? Stupid shit. There we go. There we go. Yep, we're back on. Hey, Maximus, you'll be lurking? That's cool. It's still viewing hours, baby. Which reminds me, I'm such a slack-ass fucking streamer. If you have not by now, and you're still here, please go ahead and smash the old like button, and you may as well just go ahead and subscribe too, because this is a fun channel and you're going to want to hang out here. And while you're subscribing, go ahead and tap that bell so it is full, and that way you'll know anytime there's new content to be enjoyed. So, yeah, just do that stuff. Not going to hurt you at all. You might even enjoy it. Oh, I know, David. I think pretty much everyone in the chat has. I'm more or less speaking to those who are thankfully watching the replay. I am very fond of those who watch me on replay. You guys already know I'm fond of you live and any other time. But I'm very fond of those who watch me on the replay, because Daddy needs watch hours. Well, I need everything. Subs, watch hours, all of it, but I like watching. I like seeing sub hours climb. Or I mean, watching hours climb. I do find it interesting. Chapek just kind of disappeared. Not a peep since he left. Oh, they did not let him. They canned him, but the canning was not complete until he signed an NDA. I guarantee you that. Otherwise, there's no way he wouldn't be shitting all over somebody. He's legally prevented from opening his yapper. I can guarantee it. I always watch on replay when I can't make it. Yeah, Brooke, thank you for that. I appreciate that, man. And you're pretty OG in this community anyway, so I appreciate that too. But yeah, I mean, Chapek made a few big mistakes. Oh, let us not forget the price hikes at the parks. I don't know what kind of business model he was trying to achieve success with that would make him not want to do the bread and butter of Disney, i.e. animation. That would make him raise the prices at parks. That would somehow prevent him from finding a less confrontational way of dealing with DeSantis and crew. Although I don't really know if that's actually possible because he's a jackass. End of political discussion. I saved that shit for Twitter. But, yeah, Chapek was... Oh, yeah, that's another thing. You do remember that Chapek was picked by Iger to be his replacement when Iger left. You know, the same dumb mistake that George did when he left Kathy in charge of Lucasfilm. Or recommended her to Disney when he sold, and they're like, yeah, sure. Sabersmith, I don't know why, but Chapek always got under my skin. Ever since that comment about animation, I've really disliked him. Still trying to be nice. Worst pick ever. Sorry. No, dude, you don't have to apologize. I mean, you're number one. That's your feelings are totally valid. And number two, you're also right. So, you know, win-win for you. Need you guys to pardon me for just a little bit. Little. Yeah, Sabersmith. What did he say exactly about animation? I never caught the quote. I just heard people bitching about it. Rightfully so, but there's such a thing as righteous bitching. Yeah, drop the science, Sabersmith. You're probably typing right now. But yeah, my main point being Iger, while I'm pretty sure capable and definitely driven to fix this shit, also has a pretty good chunk of responsibility for the fact that it is shit in the first place. So, and then he had those. Oh, dude, I don't know what the fuck. Those quotes in that interview. My machine cooperate with me just a bit here. Here we go. All right. Trying to get stuff pulled up here. This shit don't want to cooperate with daddy. Come on, give me the goods, bro. Yeah, give me this one. Even though that other shit was stupid too. Any of the most recent stupid. My apologies, folks. And there goes everybody watching the replay, clicking off. Alright, I'm gonna have to be more freaking specific with this crap, I guess. Oh, there it is. This has got to be it. Maybe. I want a freaking video, bro. Oh, there we go. Each doing that one. Okay. Let's catch up with the chat. Brooke says, not a big fan of Chapek, especially with what's happened with Star Wars recently. I agree. He said animation has no business in mainstream media. He said animation is second, maybe third to everything else. Okay. Yeah, I know I've just been staring off into space because I was looking for shit on my screen, but I'm going to need, again, another second to process that one. And now that you mention it, I do remember hearing something about that too. Yep, he's just a fucking idiot. I mean, what else can I say? That's just fucking stupid. Brooke says some of the best content, at least for Star Wars recently, has been animation. Yeah, that's for damn sure. I don't know why Chapek doesn't like animation. Yeah, I don't either. I mean, was he traumatized by a rock landing on Wile E. Coyote or some shit? Or, Daffy Duck getting his bill blown around the back of his face by Elmer Fudd. Or the back of his head, I should say. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Sabersmith, I've always said, Chillin, sometimes animation tells a better story than live action. Animation is not second, at least for me. Well, I have to agree with that too, considering when Bad Batch and the third season of The Mandalorian were running concurrently. I do recall a stretch where 2 out of 3 weeks Bad Batch had the better episode. So, yeah, that's for fucking sure, bro. Oh, yeah. Speaking of animation, really excited for Tales of the Jedi Season 2. First season is arguably the best Star Wars since Disney bought Lucasfilm. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much up there. I mean, technically season 7 of the Clone Wars is under Disney too, so, and I don't know of any Star Wars animation since then that can fuck with that. I mean, Rebels comes close. Rebels is damn fine animation. I mean, Ahsoka is generally basically going to be like season 5 in live action. Because, they brought them all back. First season of Tales of the Jedi just hit really well on an emotional level. Yeah. Yes, it did. Especially the Dooku stuff, man. That was some deep, intense stuff. Sorry, I was just still thinking of Chapek not liking animation and being the CEO of Disney. Did no one know he felt that way before they gave him the job? Did Iger not know this before he recommended him for the job? I remember Josh said when it comes to entertainment, Japanese anime is kicking Western entertainment studios in the butt right now. Like, when will they wake up and start making good content? Yeah. Yeah, anime is strong. I mean, its fandom does have its issues too, but anime is strong. The manga it's based on is even stronger from what Josh says, so yeah. That reminds me, I need to get back into trying to get into anime. Oh yeah, there we go. Sabersmith, sorry. Fleshing out Dooku was the best thing they've done in a while. Oh, for sure. Yes, that was really good. And plus they even filled in a couple details from Revenge of the Sith. Turns out Dooku was the one that did all the record erasing of Kamino from the archives. Brooke says, I like Rebels a bit too much of a kid show, but it's a fun show, and the last season is pretty good for Rebels. I will say that the first season definitely was geared toward a younger crowd, but I would also say, like Harry Potter, the show progressed with its age group. Like the material got older as the audience that started with it also got older, just like Harry Potter. So, like when they get Maul into it, that shit gets intense. Especially when he's working Ezra's, trying to work Ezra into the dark side. Kind of something to know beforehand. Yeah, for sure, dude. That's something to being Chapek's. I'm just gonna say disdain for animation because I don't think you can call someone who says that. I don't think you can say they don't feel disdain if they're gonna say some shit like that. Because actually watched Jujutsu Kaisen, good anime. Yeah, Rebels aged well. Same with Clone Wars. Hell yeah. Sabersmith. Rebels is my go-to for a big Star Wars hug. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna rewatch the whole thing before Ahsoka comes out, but I'm definitely gonna skim through and watch some select episodes. Brooke, I would love to see a Clone Wars style animated show set between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they could. There's a little bit of stuff they could do with that. They could. I mean, obviously, there's 10 years in that space. So there's a lot of Anakin training that could happen. A lot of mixture of Jedi and Senate politics that could happen. You know, Sidious could be getting up to random little shit here and there too, just to fuck with the Jedi. So yeah, that they could do some stuff with that. David, well, I'm looking forward to animated B5 The Road Home. I'm not familiar with that. Please tell me about it. Rob, what's up? Sorry I'm late, bro. No problem. Rob's on, love. Here we go. Yeah. All right. Yeah, not much. We've just been bitching about Iger and Chapek. Sabersmith, I suspect that Bad Batch Season 3 is going to be fantastic and heartbreaking at the same time. I don't want it to end. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely some stuff that I not only expect, I not only suspect, I should say, but expect to see. Like, I mean, obviously they're going to have to deal with a lot of Mount Tantus because that's where Crosshair's at. This fucking thing. So, not to mention, well, now Omega is there too. So They're going to have to crash that party, and that's going to be all kinds of fun. Yeah. Everyone say hello to my wife. Oh shit, I'm going to be going to Costco pretty soon. And you know, I'm not even going to touch them shits either. That's going to be all for you, love. Yeah, why is that so fucking loud? That's crazy. There we go. What are the peanut butter ones called? I can never fucking remember. It's not Do-si-dos. Those got the... Huh? The, you know, it's... Yeah. Me either. Yeah. Excited about Bad Batch Season 3 overall. It's a fun show despite... Yeah. Tag-alongs. Yes. Yes, they need tag-along pretzels like that, too. My favorite Girl Scout cookie, the tag-along. I just love chocolate and peanut butter. I'm like a Reese's freak. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any show, well, at least that I've seen. I think Josh might claim this about Hot D, but at least for me, I don't think there's been any show that hasn't had a lackluster episode or two. So, I mean, you kind of have to expect it. Ooh, what you making? But you kind of have to expect that shit. So, the problems begin when they go beyond how many there should be. Jon Favreau, writer of Mandalorian Season 3. I don't understand what's going on with that crap. Well. Sorry, my battery is giving me my pen, my battery, whatever you want to call it, is giving me crap right now. So I can't puff on it. Not a big deal in the grand scheme, but you know, a minor aggravation. Yeah, where the hell? Oh, yes. But yeah, Chapek saying that about animation. I mean, someone should have just drop kicked his ass a while ago, honestly. Kind of makes me glad he is. I mean, I'll just say it. He's under an NDA. Like, there's no way he's not. So, I'm kind of glad he is, because now I don't have to hear any more stupid shit out of his mouth like that. The hell? Like, some of the acknowledged greatest creations in cinema are animated. I mean, just think of all the classic Disney. I'll tell you what, read the original fairy tales those are based on, and you'll understand why they say things get Disneyfied. Those fucking Grimm fairy tales are exactly that. They are grim, they are dark, they are fucked up. Sorry, but Dave is a better storyteller than John. When it comes to Star Wars, yes. I don't think Dave could come anywhere near John when it came to Marvel. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, they're both really strong storytellers. Just Dave is better with Star Wars and John's better with Marvel, but they're both fucking good. Got a burp stuck. Fucking shit. Oh, I fucking hate that. So, still think kind of KK, or I still think KK kind of screwed John over when he was right. Oh, for sure. I mean, a lot of people, that was just a rumor, but it's not like Jon Favreau suddenly forgot how to write a fucking story between season 2 and season 3 of Mando, even though there were 2 years, or however fucking long it was, 2 or 3 years between them. 3 or 4. Whatever the fuck it was. It was too long, number one. But John's not going to forget how to write a fucking story in that time. His story was fucked with. For sure. I would prosecute that on this circumstantial evidence, even without a body, so to speak. Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. That didn't it didn't seem like John. It didn't feel like John. Pause. But yeah, no, you're exactly right. That was not the Favreau we know and love on that shit. Like when KK is finally gone, I spend so much time on Twitter just waiting for that news to fucking drop. And also getting in debates. What the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, that's right. KK is hogging Jon Favreau right now. And ideally her replacement would, keep John in the loop with Star Wars in case he wanted to contribute, like, something in the role of a producer, maybe even a writer, who the hell knows, but they would also let him pop back over to Marvel, because let's face it, Marvel can fucking use him. Oh, we're gonna get to fucking Secret Invasion. I will just say this: the fucked up thing about that show is none of those. It's not bad. It's not a bad show. It's actually a pretty decent show. But there are some key elements they're fucking around with, and it's pissing me off just a bit. But we'll get to that. Saber Smith. Saber Smith. There we go. So they're pulling back on all Marvel and Star Wars content? Yes. Star Wars has barely any content compared to Marvel. If anything, Star Wars needs more. Well, here's the thing. They got a shit ton of stuff coming out. Lucasfilm does. We got Ahsoka, obviously. And now, of course, I'm going to forget it all. Oh, yeah. Skeleton Crew. Yeah, Marvel has a lot more content, but... Oh, The Acolyte. Speaking of which, there was a headline I saw. Justin was a happening. But yeah, evidently Leslie Headland was saying that we're going to see more Jedi than we've ever seen. I'm hoping she was talking about on TV because you're not getting more Jedi than the prequels. I mean, unless she's just talking about CGIing a fuck ton of them in. I mean, that could be a... But yeah, yeah, they're pulling back. Iger said they're pulling back on everything. Which, if we're really, really lucky, will mean that the Rey movie will get tossed. And they'll just skip right to Dave's, which would be dope. Rob, Secret Invasion feels like 24 with Sam Jackson. A little bit, but I personally fucking love 24. But I also realize this is Marvel, so some things should be different. David, I hear the latest Predator film, Prey, is up for an Emmy. Is that... Yes, it is. I'm not sure which one, but it is up for an Emmy. Justin won't be here long, but hope you're good. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I'll catch the replay later. Well, thank you for that, too. And have a good evening. Yeah, I still have not gotten around to watching Prey, which is kind of weird for me because I fucking love Predator movies, even the ones that other people hate. So, and I think, who was it? Was it Josh? Yeah, it was Josh. And I agree with them. They should make the occasional Predator movie like based in various historical settings, like Predator versus Samurai. What he brought up would be dope. A Predator fucking with a Roman legion would be fucking dope. Or a contingent of Spartan soldiers. Mongolians in the time of Genghis Khan. Sometime in ancient Chinese history, because shit happens in China. And if you wanted to stick with Aboriginal like Prey, you can go hit Australia, you can hit South America. I mean, if you want to do it, you could even time it when the Spanish are fucking with the Aztecs, and you can drop a Predator right in the middle of all that shit. No, I have not seen John Wick yet. I'm gonna have to wait for some manner of streaming. Rob, so Secret Invasion is another of a long line of entertaining content, but how it is intended to connect to the Phase 5 is just not there. It is also pacing like a 16-episode series, and yes, that's the big thing, is the pacing is way off on that mofo. Predator and World War II, or any of the 20th century wars. 1, 2, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm. Although technically Korea and Vietnam were police actions. Fucking asswipes. They're fucking wars. Our soldiers were overseas getting injured and killed. So, war. But yeah, there's all kinds of dope things they could do with Predators in various points in history, and it'd be sick. I would love that shit. So, 1945, Hitler v. Predator. I mean, it'd be interesting watching the Predator work its way through Hitler's soldiers and sycophants. Regardless of whether it's historically accurate or not. it'd just be fun to watch some Nazis get slaughtered by a predator. I mean, that's just me, though. I can only speak for myself. Or I should only speak for myself. Either one works. But, you know what? I don't want to talk about CEOs anymore. I was going to bring up Iger and his idiotic comments, and we'll probably end up working our way back to him anyway. But I would rather talk about, at this point in time, the fact that the actors are on strike and what that could do to the stuff that we want to see. And none of it's going to be good. Like the list of projects that have stopped, it just grows longer by the day. And of course, all the projects that we're interested in are on that list. Now, I am on the side of the writers and the actors. I would be on the side of the directors, but they already signed their deal for whatever reason. So, I mean, I'm not pissed at them because I'm going to have to wait for my shit. Because there's just way too many ways out there that the studios could take advantage of emerging technology to hose the writers and actors even more. I think more so the writers than the actors at this point, but the way things are progressing, it won't be long before the actors either. So, yeah, I'm totally with I'm totally with them trying to secure some things, keep some things in check. Now, obviously, there is a point at which it goes from necessity to maybe a wee bit of greed. They got to watch that shit. Are you serious? You're fucking dead. What a piece of junk. David, sorry, I'm on the dark side. If you favor the studios, that's your biz, dude. I mean, I'm not gonna shit on you for it. I'm just gonna be like, not me. Thankfully, Ahsoka is done. Oh hell yeah! And you realize they dropped that trailer on Monday because they knew or whatever day they Monday or Tuesday, because they knew the strike was happening by the end of the week. And once that strike is on, as it is now, you can't use promotion with the actors in it. They can't participate in any kind of promotion, so nobody's showing up to Comic-Con next week. I believe that's next week. So SDCC is San Diego Comic-Con is literally pretty much just going to be about comics themselves, and that's about it. Trying to remember, I saw something about somebody still going to show up at Hall H, and I was like, dumb. But I mean, all right. So here's the deal when it comes to labor disagreements. It is really up to both sides to prioritize not going to an extreme in what they're asking for. Like, for example, the studios, when they make an offer to the guilds, should not make it in like a ridiculously cheap ass offer. I know that's a long-standing negotiating tactic, but it's fucking stupid. And it's also equally as stupid for the unions to make an insanely high offer. Again, old ass negotiating tactic, but at least in my opinion, kind of fucking dumb these days. It behooves everybody to come to the table with some semblance of a reasonable offer and counter offer from which to base things on, rather than trying to start from way the fuck out here. They could maybe start here. I mean, obviously there's going to be some shit they're not going to agree on from jump. I mean, that's a given. God dang it, I'm just getting a headache all of a sudden. Fuck. But, yeah, when it comes down to it, the power of corporations is fucking insane, so. Sabersmith, bring on the reality TV shows. It's going to be a while. They don't even make minimum wage. It's ridiculous. Well, I mean, the writers have something called, well, what is the writers? No, it's the actors have something called scale. So, scale is the minimum wage for actors. I don't think writers have that protection, though. I'm not 100% sure. Don't fucking quote me on it. But I don't think. They all have a lot of issues to hash out. There's all this distribution innovation without a discussion of fair compensation for services. They need to get it win-win, or this crap will happen every 3 years, right? I mean, that's both the writers and the actors have humongous gripes with AI, and the rate at which it's progressing. I mean, that they can't stop, but they can try and make sure that they're not going to be put out of business by Skynet, or put out of work by Skynet in, like, 5 to 10 years. So they're trying to lay those protections in now. And I say again, as long as they're not like over the top protections they're asking for, I don't see any reason why, even in these dark times, the studios can't pony up that much. I mean, oh, God damn it. Now you guys are all going to get me on a fucking rant. But here we go. In my mind, actually, I'll be right back. Yeah, I needed a fresh beverage before I got in on this shit. So, disclaimer. This is my opinion and my opinion only. You can agree or disagree. I don't care. But this is where I'm at with this shit. For me, the large corporations, even in times like these, have their ways of getting money. And in good times, they have a shit ton of money. So, and this is bad, especially with publicly owned companies, because then they have to be legally, they're responsible to shareholders to make money. The problem is there's a certain profit percentage that companies will set that they won't go below, even if they can afford to. And all I really think these corporations need to do is take their thresholds and drop them by 2%. That's it. Just take 2% off, like your desired profit percentage. If your minimum is 8, make your minimum 6%. And take the money that would have been profit and stick it back to your employees, without whom you wouldn't have shit. I mean, it's fucking insane. But on the other hand, look at the UAW. They were going strong. They're the ones that, I mean, the UAW started it with the, 37? One of the 1930s, sit-downer strike, where I'm from, in Flint, Michigan, at a General Motors plant. The UAW was born there. And, as the auto industry grew, so did that union. And there came a time when the car industry was just a fucking booming. And so every time contract negotiations came up, the union asked for more. GM didn't fuck with them too much, or none of the big three fucked with them too much, because they were making big bank at the time. This is before Japan started making better quality cars than us. So, I mean, when I was growing up, I always heard General Motors called Generous Motors. I mean, people were making pretty damn good money. I mean, the skilled trades guys were making like $34 an hour, and this is in the 80s, mind you. To sit around, read newspapers, and drink coffee, because again, this was the 80s, no smartphones. You actually had to read something printed. And they'd be, unless something broke, that's all they do all day for $34 an hour. So, I mean, there was a time when being in the union was the shit. Here's the problem, though. When the domestic car industry started to tank a bit, as the Japanese found a way to make cars really well, and then they sent them here, and they really dug into the domestic, what's the fucking word? Anyway, they really started screwing domestic business over, because they started selling more and more, which means the big three started selling less and less. So they started feeling the crunch. But at this point in time, they're also publicly owned, so they had to, they had the shareholders that they were responsible to. So when things started to turn the wrong way, when negotiation time came up, the union, of course, wanted to keep things going the way they were. And of course, the big three are like, but we're being smashed on our quality, and we're not selling so much anymore. So thence we got strikes and all kinds of fun shit. And the UAW has not been the same since they went on that big ass long strike, and then ended up caving on most of this stuff anyway. I can't remember exactly when that was, but they literally priced themselves almost out of existence by not realizing what was happening or not caring and not reading the room and just keeping on the way they were keeping on regardless of anything else. On the other hand, this is where my profit percentage thoughts come in. If the big three had been willing to drop whatever their minimum profit percentage was by 2 points, they would have enough money to at least be like, yo, this is what's going on. We can offer you this. And then if the union was smart, they'd realize exactly what's going on. They'd be like, all right, that's still, an increase in benefits and blah, 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 or whatever. So we can work with that. And then obviously they'd have to go to the rank and file and, really whip up votes for ratification. But I think that would have been possible. And then, things could have been better, but that's not how it happened. So I say all that to say this. When it comes to the guilds and the studios, the studios need to realize that they're going to have to give some protections to these people. Otherwise, they're not going to have them, and AI isn't good enough to replace them yet. And of course, like anybody else, they don't want to be replaced yet. I mean, it is inevitable. Like Thanos. That AI is going to be able to do, one AI program by itself will be able to do the work of like, however many people, 2, 3, 4, 5, what have you. So there will come a point. Jesus fuck, I can't talk. There will come a point, and where AI is going to dominate a certain portion of what happens in Hollywood. There's no way around it. So like, I don't specifically know what the union's demands were, but I'm hoping none of them were over the top, and really the corporation could, engage in just a wee bit of empathy, which obviously also won't happen. So we're probably going to have a long-ass strike, folks. Because both parties think they have each other by the short and curlies. One executive who has not been named, but allegedly Ron Perlman knows who he is, and that's bad for this executive. But one executive has been anonymously quoted as saying the plan all along has been to keep the strike going long enough for them to start losing their apartments and their houses, and at that point they will be, the rank and file will force the negotiating team to capitulate in some way, shape, or form. This ain't war, bro. This is a contract negotiation. Like, you don't need to win that badly, bro. Like, what the fuck is that shit? Now, mind you, Iger calling the strikes a disruption and saying they're coming at a bad time and other kinds of stupid shit like that. No wonder he and KK are friends. Neither of them know how to say the correct shit in public or know when to shut the fuck up. So it's just a clusterfuck all around when it comes down to it. Well, these things always are. So, And I'm a Libra, so of course I try and think of everything I possibly can on both sides. Like, ooh, there's this, but oh, on the flip side, there's this. Ooh, but on the flip side, there's that. That's just how my fucking brain works. Notice I'm, but that is how it works. So, which is why I generally end up yelling at everybody. Sabersmith. I worked for Kroger when I was a teen, and they used to do this crap all the time. They wouldn't even give us overtime because it affected their bonuses at the end of the year. Oh, okay. Yeah, they wouldn't let anyone above 40. That's a common trick. Um, well, yeah, of course. I mean, it's kind of funny how corporations will, like, try and save money on employee wages, but then reward the executives that manage to achieve those goals with a shit ton of money. Anyway, what the fuck are you saving money wise at this point? Like, I'm going to stick with the Kroger example. It's like y'all cashiers can't work more than 40 hours ever at your tenure in Kroger. And most of the time they're probably only going to be scheduled for like 32 to 36 any fucking way. Because that'll leave Kroger a cushion. So to me, it's really stupid to keep the people that actually keep your business going in the real world. Now, mind you, accountants and shit keep it going behind the scenes, but the people that keep it going in the real world, you're going to keep them from getting overtime, but you're going to turn around and reward the executive that did that with a shit ton of money. Why not worry about people getting overtime and pay them and find a different way to, a different reason and a different way to give that dude a bonus? I don't think it's really that, I wouldn't think it's really that hard to do, I'm sure some accountant could work out the math on that. Corporate accountants seem to be able to do literal fucking magic sometimes. That's how certain people have still not been to jail, even though we know they should have been in jail for 30 years. Okay, 25. But setting that aside, well, obviously, I shall sum up like this. While obviously both sides have a responsibility to not be, insane and dicks. Um, in these circumstances, I am definitely on the side of the labor. I'm not always, but this time I am. Fucking another burp stuck, pissing me off. Excuse me. That's better though. But yeah, so that's that. Yeah, we already griped about Secret Invasion. I'm trying to think if there's anything. Well, I mean, before I get into this, while we talked about the pacing or anything, we haven't talked about like specific moments and whatnot in the episode. And so I'm going to be specific. So if you don't want to hear my specificity because you don't want to know shit, then you're going to want to check out here for a bit. I couldn't hire anybody, so the staff they do have, they run into the ground. I stayed for 3 summers, and that was it. Yeah, that's another classic tactic. Skeleton crews, or at least as close to them as they could possibly get. Grocery stores are a good place for that. Fast food's a good place for that. The service industry, period, is a good place for that, honestly. I mean, thank God I never had to work retail, because fuck that. Retail workers are some of the ones I feel for the most, because people. I don't think I need to, go any farther than that. We all know it. We all know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, specifics about the Secret Invasion. There were some very dope scenes. That first flashback scene that happened quite soon after the Battle of New York, i.e., the first Avengers movie. So, and he's meeting up with, what's her fuzz? Priscilla. I don't remember her Skrull name. But so we got that, and obviously they were swimming in the fields at that point. So that helped us to understand how they got to the point we saw them at the end of episode 3. So after that, we flash forward. I'm frozen again. Son of a bitch. This is why I went back to StreamYard for a while, because Streamlabs be pissing me the fuck off. Alright. I just have to keep deactivating and activating the camera in the settings, and it goes right back. But I shouldn't have to fucking do that in the first place. Also, thank you for letting me know, because while I do check my screen over here a lot to see what's happening, I don't all the time. Sometimes I zone right in on chat. Right in there. So. But yeah, so they had some very good one-on-one scenes. All of Sam Jackson's scenes with Priscilla were dope. Priscilla and Don Cheadle were dope. finding out Rhodey's being what's the fucking word I'm looking for? Anyway, it's a female Skrull that turns into Rhodey. Not that that's a big deal, other than the fact that to me, it only emphasizes the fact that Don Cheadle really is a little motherfucker. So that's kind of like the little bit of amusement I take from that being a fact. Other than that, what the fuck ever. But yeah, that scene with him and Fury in his hotel room was really dope. It's a whole lot of, not saying that I know you know, and then more not saying, or a whole lot of not saying I know, and then a whole lot more saying I know you know, and then a whole lot of not saying I know you know, or I know you know I know. A joke about liquid tracking in that extraordinarily rare and expensive bourbon, which I really want to try, even though I'll never be able to. That I love bourbon. Or I used to. I mean, I still love bourbon, but bourbon don't love me anymore. Yeah, so he joked about putting a tracking liquid in the bourbon just to fuck with him, and then it turns out that's exactly what he did. There was also the Talos and Gaius park bench scene. That was a pretty good scene. I'm kind of with Gaia that I think Talos is a bit naive about the ability of humanity to accept what they would consider to be outsiders, and especially in this case, not even human beings, but an alien race. Yeah, I think Talos is pretty deluded. thinking the Skrulls could win us over by, just doing cool stuff. I mean, everybody hates everybody right now, so about the only thing that could unite us would be what would appear to be an alien invasion, and then we'd try and wipe them the fuck out anyway. So, yeah, Talos was being highly naive. Although obviously Gravik's going way fucking overboard. But so there was that chat, which ended with Gaia walking away frustrated and Talos, well, looking heartsick. And then I can't remember the exact order, but eventually that tracking logo becomes important, and they follow Rhodey's imposter in the presidential motorcade to where Gravik attacks it. And at that, in a little while after that attack begins, here come Fury and Talos. There's a whole lot of shooting and action and dudes getting shot and all kinds of fun stuff. And then they see the president still buckled in his upside-down vehicle with bulletproof glass, because it's a fucking presidential motorcade. So they hustle over there. Talos being the extraordinarily strong Skrull that he is, because Skrulls are fucking strong compared to us, and they can way outlive us too. I do recall Talos being 140 something or whatever, however old he is, over 100 years, and he making it an equivalent to basically someone my age in their mid to late 40s. So, okay, for me it's the late 40s, but Talos had expanded that a bit. But yeah, so the Skrulls are longer lived, stronger, and of course they have that whole shape-shifting thing going on for them too. So yeah, Talos is working on trying to smash the bulletproof window in because, again, he's a strong-ass alien. At one point in time, he gets shot in the shoulder, which ends up with him revealing his Skrullishness on the same side that got shot, which would be his left side. Because he got shot here, like right here-ish. Because he was still smashing on the window with this hand, but this half of his face went Skrull. He had this half of his face went Skrull, like green on this side, one Skrull ear. Oh, hello, sir. How many times do I have to tell you to not get on the desk? Bear with me. Yeah, it's that little shit again. I love my boy, but at the same time, dude, please remove yourself from the desk. Thank you. I mean, I thought that was cool. Obviously we know they change back into Skrulls when we kill them or they get killed. It was interesting to find out that an injury will cause a partial return to natural form. I thought that was actually pretty sweet. Also, and at one point, a specific soldier goes to shoot Talos when he sees him half Skrull out, and Fury tells him to stop, that he's on our side. And dude stops without an argument. Okay. And goes back to shooting at Gravik and his men. At some point in time, Gravik demonstrates his Grootness by snatching up a soldier and squishing him. Meanwhile, Talos finally succeeds in smashing the window, and they get the president out. And Fury starts heading for the vehicle they arrived in with the president, and The same soldier that was about to shoot at Talos starts helping him. And of course, that makes no sense. And Fury realizes this just in time to see the soldier turn into Gravik, and Gravik stab Talos in the heart and fucking kill him. And that's how it ended. Yet another episode ending with someone cool being dead and Fury looking like he's going to puke. I refer to episode 1. Oh, I mean, it was a good episode. There's a lot of great one-on-one scene work. Oh shit, I skipped the whole thing where with Fury and his wife. Fuck it. He confronts her about Rhodey sending her to kill him, which happened at the beginning of the show. They both put the guns out on the table. Talk some romantic shit. Both make a move for the gun. Both pull the trigger. Camera pans away dramatically. Comes back, shows her first, then shows him, and then it shows a bullet hole over each of their shoulders in the wall behind them. And there went my fucking camera again. I saw it myself this time. This does not happen on the yard. Fucking thing. Alright. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, so there's drama between him and his Skrull wife. Rhodey told her Gravik wanted him dead. But Gravik himself had not earlier in this episode, but in an earlier episode period, had said he wanted Fury to suffer before he kills him. So I don't know what's going on with, someone called him this in another stream, that Scrody, Skrull Rhodey, Scrody. Scrody, I'm such a child, scrotum. Anyway, so is, well, I suppose technically it'd be she, because it's female Skrull pretending to be Rhodey, so I wonder, does she have her own agenda? That is evident, that would be slightly different than Gravik's. It's interesting. We're going to have to keep an eye on Rhodey, I think. I mean, Don Cheadle's a great actor, so it's fun anyway. But, not necessarily in chronological order. That was the episode in a nutshell, which again, pretty good episode, but the pacing's all weird. Like, I feel they should be much farther into the conflict than they are now. Okay, this is just getting fucking stupid at this point. Why do you do this? Okay. This episode was better than the last episode. Still a slow burn, though. Yeah, I can agree that this is the best episode so far. Lots of mystery and intrigue, however, not a lot of action. Yeah, they always make sure to include some, but they're quite sparse with it. And I want the British chick back. She has got that British snark. So perfect. It's actually charming. And I love her. Random question. Does a Skrull copy biotechnology? Rhodey has that thing to help him walk. I don't think they can copy. See you, David. Have a good night. I hope you still like me. I don't think they can copy biotechnology. I'm not 100% sure, though, because I'm not a comic book sweaty. But, I mean, that just brings up the question of when Rhodey was replaced. And I have not yet formulated full thoughts on that. So, I mean, that's just one of the many particular circumstances that make it both challenging and kind of fun to figure out exactly when he was replaced. And hopefully they will tell us. And another thing to consider is we already know that in Captain America Brave New World, Harrison Ford's Thunderbolt Ross is going to be president. So obviously something is going to happen to Ritson. The question is, will it happen in this series and on screen? Or will it happen in the void between the movies? Damn it, I could have just said it happened in the void between and done it right. Motherfucker. There has to be a way to check him. Or that has to be a way to... Oh, yeah. I mean, you can... That's one of the Skrulls' biggest weakness. They can only really absorb more recent memories. Or at least that used to be a weakness of theirs. I don't know if some of that's been mitigated with Gravik's Super Skrull Serum. Which, by the way, came in very handy for Gaia. And really handy for Gravik when Fury shot him in the face and he just reformed his face like fucking T2. The T-1000. The Extremis basically makes a biological creature the T-1000. I mean, just look at what happened to his face when Fury shot it and see how he recovered. If that's not fucking Terminator 2, I don't know what is. Rhodey, bend over. I gotta check your crack. It's hard to look at Don as a bad guy. He plays the part well. Well, that's why I love Don Cheadle, because he's just an amazing actor. He's really fun to watch when he's amoral. Like, not really good, but not really bad. What is that show called? House of Lies. You should find a way to check that shit out. It was originally on Showtime, I believe. So I don't know what streaming service has Showtime shit on it anymore. Hell, they might have their fucking own. I don't know. I don't really care. But yeah, he's he can play pretty much whatever he wants to play. You know, he can play good guy, bad guy, goofy guy, sad guy. Did it that time, motherfuckers. But is my camera still working? Okay. I feel the need to check it now. And I don't like having to check it. But yeah, the question is, what is Scrody up to? Trying to have Priscilla kill Fury when Gravik himself specifically said he wanted Fury to, you know, essentially be emotionally and mentally tortured before he kills him. Which explains why he didn't just Groot Fury's ass in that fight, because he could have. With the Extremis in his system to heal him, and the Groot arm to, you know, stab or squish. In the case of that one shoulder, in the case of that one soldier, it was squish. So, I mean, yeah, Gravik himself could have won that fight, no problem, if he really wanted to. He let Fury live again to fuck with him. I mean, one would assume that's going to come back to bite him in the ass, but you never know. So we are now 2/3 of the way through the season, and I'm really hoping. I mean, it's not even the fact that I want more action, although that would be dope. They just need to pick up the pace of the show. It feels like they're just kind of out for a stroll. And at this point in time, they should at least be, you know, not full on speed walking, but, you know, at a brisk pace. But we're still only getting the nice slow stroll. So now for me, they got to make up for it, and starting next episode, fucking full sprint. Donnie Yen is the same way. It's hard to see him as a villain in John Wick. He does a fantastic. Oh yeah, I love Donnie Yen. Fucking Ip Man 1 through 4. Rogue One. Donnie Yen's fucking great, bro. So, enough bitching. Let me make sure this shit's still pulled up. Oops, I don't want that one. Let me in. So I want to see that one tweet. Why didn't you show me the one that when I clicked on it? Oh, Lord. Here we go. That's what I want, baby. Alright. And that one. Where's the one with all the extra shit, bro? It was literally on your. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. Y'all are gonna have to put up with some scrolling for some shit, but I found what I wanted for us. Because it's happy time. It's time to look at some fucking Deadpool pics. Fury. Deadpool? That's all you had to say! Wade Wilson nonchalantly strolls up, stabs Gravik, inserts a bomb, Sparky quip, strolls past Fury. Yeah. I love that. That's great. Would I like to break down the Ahsoka trailer? Saw some pretty cool ships in there. I already did a review on it, like a couple days ago. Yeah. It really does. All right, let me, there, whoops, no, motherfucker, don't mess with me right now. So, yeah. This was the first picture we got to see. This is the one that broke the fucking internet. Because, you know, we'd already seen that Deadpool suit was redesigned a bit brighter, more comic accurate. And we'd heard rumors we were getting the yellow and blue suit. And then when someone mentioned long sleeves, and I was like, yeah, could be okay. And then we got this. And it's fucking awesome. The sleeves are even awesome. I mean, the color scheme is fucking perfect, bro. And it's even got the fucking channels for his claws in the gloves. It's fucking dope. Okay. So that was the one that started this whole thing and like made the internet shit itself. And justifiably so. Yep, strike coverage. Yep. Oh yes, the Ryan Reynolds messing with Hugh Jackman by putting a little baby Wolverine in Hugh Jackman's chair. saw someone take that first picture and squish Hugh Jackman down until he was like only up to Ryan's short ribs, or maybe a little bit taller, but that would actually be comic accurate because Wolverine is literally a foot shorter than Hugh Jackman, like comic book Wolverine. It's a quarry that they turned into that. Oh yeah, here we go. Got this awesome scene of them fighting, fucking claws out, swords out, more claws. Not quite sure what they're fighting about. They are fucking going at it. And while it's not super visible, if you think about it, this is the F and Fox. They're fighting in front of the ruins of the big old fox symbol because there's lines under the O. That's part of something. Or maybe that. Oh no, this is the 2 and the motherfucker. And here we got what appears to be. I'm going to say that Mr. Reynolds here as Deadpool just got done stabbing him, and we'll see some nice CGI wounds right in here when we get to see this scene in the movie. That's what I'm going with, because, you know, he's got that face, and it's not his Gur face when he's about to, like, launch into motherfuckers. That's pain. So I'm thinking he took a nice stab wound there that we will see CGI'd in when the time comes. Yeah. Although I will admit the body placement's a bit weird. But that's the only thing I can think of with that pose and this pose and that look of pain. Is that it? Oh yeah, that's it on that little set. So yeah, they're obviously doing some battle. Alright. So yeah, that's some seriously hype shit. I mean, I don't sound super hype right now, but, you know, it's late on a Saturday night. And this is a chill thing, even though I got a little... I still haven't managed to get, like, full hype at this point. Imagine it'll happen sooner or later, because something will trigger me to that extent, but right now, not so much. Yeah, I mean, they did the sleeves well enough that it looks really good. And I think there was a point in the comics, I think there was a point in the comics where he did have sleeves. Hi, baby boy. It's my kitty. He's rubbing on my leg saying hi. But yeah, that suit is badass. But they still haven't shown the fucking mask, and that's what I wanted. I want to see that. That is going to be key. The mask is fucking key. The rest of the suit can look great, but if the mask looks dumb as fuck, it's gonna mess up the whole thing. So I want to see the mask, and I want to see it soon. But yeah, those pictures look dope. All the leaks sound dope. I think it's gonna be good times. I also think I'm gonna dip. We have covered everything I want to cover. I have answered many questions. I have done my best to keep up with you guys in the chat. I hope you guys are satisfied with my ability to keep up. I think I did okay. But I'm ready to go. I hope you guys have fun. I mean, I always have fun doing this stuff, even if sometimes I sound. I'm still having fun. So, but thank you all for being here and participating in the chat. I really, really, really appreciate it. Gotta head out, family visiting for NYC. Ooh, fun. So, I'm gonna go ahead and say good night. Have a great rest of your weekend. And like I always say, there's always a good time to be had when you're chilling in the basement. Well, that was a lot of fun stuff to talk about, I thought. I hope you thought so too. Even my little rant, which was only kind of a half a rant, because I didn't get that loud or that, hyper vociferous. So I'd say it was a good stream, though. I think it was pretty good. Not super hype, but this is chilling in the basement. It doesn't have to be super hype. It can get super hype. I have no problems with that because, basement excursions can get hype. But all in all, I think we all did pretty well together, like we usually do. That's why I love this community and appreciate all of you guys. And to anybody watching, don't forget to hit that like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell so you know anytime the basement produces anything. We are a chill community. I can be triggered into a rant, but it's still a chill community. So join it. But join it on your way out of my basement. Love you guys. Have a great night.